Happy New Year! It's that time again. Another year has come to a close, and we are at this period, this opportunity for reflection and also for thinking ahead, for setting goals, for dreaming, for maybe dreaming big. In today's video, I want to take you through 3 steps to really set yourself up for success in the new year. I also invite you right now to mark your calendar for January 13th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be doing a free seminar on kicking off your new year in riding. We're going to be going through and we're going to be creating an actionable plan, a real plan for you on what's most important in your riding, and I'll take you through a series of exercises to find this that is going to help you feel really confident in meeting some of the dreams that we're going to be going through in today's 3-step process. We'll also be going through how to feel calm even if your horse is fearful, the secret to finding time to ride even if you don't think you have enough time, and how to know which exercises are going to be most beneficial for you and how you can do those exercises in even just a few moments at home each day, but how harnessing that power of consistency can really make a big difference in your riding. So all of that's going to be on the free seminar January 13th, but today's 3-step process is going to set you up for that. But before we start with the 3-step process, I want to say a truly heartfelt thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching these videos. This started over 10 years ago with me setting up a little $200 camera that I had bought on eBay, hitting record, running out in front of it to do my little demonstration or to ride around in a little circle right in front of the camera, go back around to stop the recording and cross my fingers and hope that I actually stayed within the frame and that the camera didn't shut off halfway through. We went from that to today where we have a full camera team, where we have an incredible team at HorseClass that you've met, I'm sure, in customer service, in the comments, that creates these beautiful videos, that adds the little dancing horses that sometimes come across the screen, and all of the instructors at HorseClass that come here to teach the clinics, that teach our courses and programs, and that create what HorseClass truly is, that it is this community with a faculty of some of the best instructors in what they do in the world, as well as a global community of riders. In the courses, the students that send in videos for feedback, we have videos from riding in the desert to riding in the jungle to people with arenas with backdrops of mountains to the rolling hills, all kinds of different landscapes, all kinds of different horses, and all kinds of different riders. And we are here together. We are HorseClass because we love horses. And we are joined together by wanting to do the best by the horse. And part of that is being the best that we can be. What has led me to this point is my horse teachers. And I want to say a huge thank you also to the schoolmasters, the true teachers, the true leaders of HorseClass, because they were my first teachers, is our horses here at the farm campus in Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. And I lost 2 horses that were really special to me this year, just in the last few months. I lost Molly, who was my personal horse and that taught me so much and made me such a good rider. She was in my life for over 15 years, and Molly was incredible. She was the horse that would jump out of her field to go jump into other fields just to visit other horses. There was no keeping Molly in. There was just finding a pasture that she was pretty happy in so she didn't jump out too often. And then there's Ace. Ace has been a part of my life for over 20 years, and he has taught so many riders. He's given so many riders their first ride ever. Their first canter. Ace was like our patriarch of the farm. He was one of the first horses that was here on the farm when I was a child. And I just have so much gratitude to the time that I was able to spend with these special horses, and so much gratitude for what they have helped us create here at HorseClass. It is because of all of us, the team, you as the audience, the horses, that we are creating a change in the future for horses and in the relationship between horses and people. So thank you for being here, and let's take a few moments now to reflect on this past year, to dream about what's coming up and what is next for you, and then also to pick that first step forward on your path. Let's get started. The first of the 3 steps that we're going to go through together, I invite you to look back and to think of something really positive in this past year. So close your eyes with me and just go back to New Year's of 2021. And just go back to New Year's of this year, of January. Think about what you were doing in January, in February, March. Go through the year, go through the changes of the seasons, and just let all of the memories, especially the positive memories, come back. Now, of course, whenever we reflect, there may be some memories that come up that don't feel very positive, that were really difficult or felt like huge setbacks, or were big things that happened in other areas of life that were painful. And we don't need to erase them, we don't need to overlook them, but just notice them and let them just kind of drift down to the floor, and just see the positive ones floating up. And as you go through this year, as you think about the months, the seasons, see which memories feel the strongest. Which ones, when you think of that memory, when it comes back to you, which one do you just have this warm feeling? Which one brings a smile to your face? It could be something big, it could be something really small. It could just be a moment that maybe you almost forgot about with your horse that just comes back. And hold that moment. So take a moment now and write that down. Write down all the detail that you can think of. Write down how you felt, what you remembered seeing, what other senses you remember, what you smelled, where you were. All the little details. There's a lot of power in starting with a positive focus. And when we go back a period of time of a year, it's so easy to forget. You know, the year can go so fast, but yet when we think back, we can look at how much happened. And you know the feeling of when there's periods of time where it feels like they go super fast and nothing happened. And then there's other periods of times where it was a decade in a year. And whichever it was for you, celebrate that. And celebrate what you experienced and where you were able to grow. So this is our first step. Now, in the second step, I again invite you just to close your eyes with me. And now we're going to think about the opportunities that are open for you. What is something that you would love to experience with your horse? What is something you would love to be able to do in your riding? It might be a skill, it might be a dream of going somewhere, of reaching a certain level of competition. It might be a riding vacation. It might be more time with my horse, more of those calm, quiet moments connected with them. But really think, what would you love to experience? Okay, go ahead and open your eyes and now write this down. Again, as much detail as you can think about. So, for example, instead of just saying, this year I'm going to learn to ride the canter, what would that really look and feel like? What would it feel like to ride the canter? Would it be the breeze in your face? Would it be the gentle flowing of your horse's motion? Would it be the feeling of being totally balanced as they pick up that transition. Really give it life in your mind. And again, write down all of those little details that you can think about. So we started with celebrating, and now we created this dream that you want to go towards. I love the period of the new year for change, but I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, because resolutions are usually something that we are resolving ourselves to not do again. Whether it's I'm not going to eat those things, or I'm going to resolve to be healthier. It's a different mindset than if we can find the dreams that light us up and use that feeling to allow ourselves to be pulled towards it. And that's what we did in this last step, is thinking about that dream and allow yourself to be pulled towards it. And the more detail that you give it, the more sensory detail you give it, the more powerful it'll be, the more pull it will have. And come back to it. Come back to that positive experience, and come back to what pulls you. Why you love being with horses, why you keep coming back, because we know it can be challenging. Okay, so now we're going to go to step 3. And step 3 is really like the actionable, practical step that we're going to take together. And for that, I want to show you a little illustration that really is going to help. So this illustration is of the holistic horsemanship wheel. And this illustrates some of the main things that go into our riding, because riding is so much more than just how we sit in the saddle. Riding is so much more than just how our horse is trained. It really is a holistic picture. It's a number of different things coming together. It's, of course, us as the rider, our riding skill, the mental state that we're in, but it's also the equipment that we're using. If our saddle doesn't fit, if our bit is too small for our horse and it's pinching their mouth, we're going to have problems. But it's the health of our horse. It's their nutrition. It's their dentistry. Dentistry actually plays a huge role in our horse's balance. It's the hoof. The old expression, no hoof, no horse. If our horse is not feeling comfortable and able to move, we're not going to have a good ride. So the health is so important. The environment. Our horses' social interaction, are they getting enough turnout? This can have a huge impact on their behavior that's beyond just the training that we're doing. And then also overall health and body. Is the horse working at a level that they're prepared for, that they're physically prepared for? Do they have old injuries or problems that might be holding them back from really performing at their best? So the reason that I introduced this as step 3, and we're going to actually go a lot deeper into the different parts of this, how they relate to our riding, and how they relate to what I'm going to describe here as step 3 during that free webinar on January 13th. But the reason that this is so important is what I want to invite you to do now is just thinking of these, which is one of these little slices of this wheel that you could say, you know what, if this thing improved, I think everything else would. So here's an easy example. If you have a saddle that doesn't fit and it's negatively affecting your posture, your alignment as you're riding, or it's hurting your horse, if you just get a new saddle, that's going to make your whole riding experience a lot better. If you're keeping your horse somewhere where they don't provide enough turnout, or you're riding at a lesson barn that just isn't a very healthy place, maybe they don't treat their horses the best. If you find somewhere else to go, if you find a place where the horses are healthy and happy, that's going to improve the whole riding experience. So many times, improving our riding, it may not just be about, I need to learn what to do with my lower leg as I'm in the saddle. That's a part of it, it's an important part, but the other pieces of the picture are equally as important. So what I encourage you to do is just thinking of these, think which one might make the biggest difference for me, and I want you to choose one thing to focus on. And again, when we go into the webinar, we're going to go through this much more kind of granular step by step to really help you. So if you're feeling like, this still feels like there's a lot of options, make sure you come to that webinar and I'll help you break it down even more. But pick one thing to move forward in. This might be, I'm going to really improve my fitness as a rider. This might be, yeah, I do need that saddle, but I've got to save up for it. So I'm going to start putting a certain amount of money aside, every week to save up for that new saddle. This might be, I'm feeling like this isn't the best place for my horse. I'm going to start calling around to some other barns and see if I can find a better fit. There's so many different options here, but which one feels to you like, if I improved in this area, I bet everything else would improve as well. This is looking at riding from a holistic approach, and this is what at HorseClass we pride ourselves on doing. This is why we have a community of instructors, a faculty of instructors that provide expertise in so many different areas to support you, our community, and our students to really be able to find that best path forward for your horse and to solve the different problems that do come up. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is such a simple process, but taking these few minutes for yourself, taking these minutes to really reflect back and also to think forward and to allow yourself to dream and to give life and feeling to what your dream is, it is so important. So I really thank you again for being here. I would encourage you to leave a comment down below and share one of these 3 steps. Share which one felt most powerful to you. Do you have a memory that you would love to share, a positive experience? Do you want to tell us what your dream is? Or do you want to say, you know what, this is the thing that I'm going to focus on? So pick one, put it in the comments down below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Finally, remember, calendars marked for January 13th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Join me in this free Kick Off Your New Year in Riding seminar.